aggression in the play. He had his assignment, and then he chipped out, went up, didn't see him, just try to make something happen there. That's what it was.
Tua, after the game, Vrabel had his coaching show. He said their main goal was take away the middle. It's just
Mhm.
kind of the second week that somebody said that.
Yeah.
Have you seen defenses play you different, and so how you combat that goal that teams have coming in?
Yeah, I would say that's the style that teams have played us in, and they've found a lot of success. As you see, we had to throw outside of the numbers this past game, and then the checkdowns. We try to find ways to maneuver guys to get out of the middle so that we can, find those soft spots inside the numbers, if you will. But yeah, this past game, that's how we were looking to combat that. Throwing outside the numbers, taking the checkdowns, and then running the ball as well.
Teams obviously have tried to do that to you for a while. You guys still found ways to get it, the timing and the motion. What has changed?
Well, I think it's spots that those guys are getting to now as well. It's not your normal Tampa 2. It's not your normal quarters deal. It's guys are staying inside, allowing our guys to break outside where they can trap the corners, play up top with the safeties, and their backers are just getting depth. Like they're not even getting to the spots where in a normal Tampa 2 or in a normal quarters deal you'd get, width or you'd get depth. They're just literally packing the middle.
You mentioned throwing the ball outside the numbers and a couple sail routes to Waddle. I think Reek had a big comeback route in the game. Do you feel like getting that stuff on tape is going to be beneficial to how teams approach you down the road?
Yes and no. Every game is going to have its own challenges depending on the flavor of the DC and what they want to do to combat what we've done previous game or in games past against them. So it's really just figuring out what they want to do against us.
You've obviously dealt with a lot of adversity through your first 5 seasons, but as you mentioned after the game, you've never started 0-2. You said Waddle hasn't started 0-2. How are you personally dealing with all the weight of all that since you've never experienced it before and possibly being 0-3 in the first 12 days of a season even?
Yeah, I would say when we were in 21, it wasn't just how we started. We could have been, I don't know, 1-0, 2-0, maybe even. And then we went on that streak of maybe 6 losses, 7 losses, and then we came back and we won 8. It's one of those deals where you can never get too high in this league. You can never be too low. You just got to continue to stick to your process, stay even keel, trust the guys, continue to bring those guys along, and you go out there and you continue to play, do your job, do the best that you can, and the result will take care of itself, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, and you continue to grow from that, continue to move on from that.
Even all the last game felt like the old days with his connection with you. Do you feel some momentum coming in your connection with Tyree?
Yeah, in this past game, just looking at what the defense was allowing for us to do, we'll give Reek, we'll give Waddle those opportunities. And then that deep ball, that was one of those where, like, hey, we need a spark from our offense. And it was like, Reek, I'm just coming to you, like, no matter what they do on this, and you got to make me right. So not to say that's what we want to do every time, but when the defense allows and we can manipulate coverage, that's the guys we want to get the ball to.
Did you feel you underthrew it? It got there. But
Oh, yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah, I definitely did. I wasn't able to get both my feet under me as I was moving off the spot to make that throw.
what makes the Bills so good?
I think defensively, the scheme that they're in, very disciplined. That's one of the teams that just want to get to a spot. Will just keep everything, hey, numbers to numbers and inside. Like that's where we're gonna force them not to throw. If they want to do the checkdowns, like force them to throw those checkdowns because they can't sustain that. Force them to throw outside the numbers because they can't sustain that. And I think the discipline of that defense is what makes them really good.
Tua, I'm curious, when was your introduction to the Bills Dolphins rivalry? Like, was there a particular moment that you realized, like, oh, like this is kind of real?
Uh, I would say when I first got to the league, just in general, even when I wasn't playing the first game against the Bills, right? When Fitz was playing. But I sort of looked at it as that's how all the division games were. You know, when we played the Patriots that year and Fitz started, that's what I felt like it was. The Jets, same thing. And then also with the Bills, you know. So I just assumed they were all that way because it was divisional games.
A lot of talk about the communication from the coaches and kind of the slow year 4 for you guys in the system. I guess for those of us who haven't played in it, how does it still happen at this stage?
Well, I think it also has a lot to do with kind of wanting to do new, I guess, personnels. And then with that comes responsibility from guys that never had to do that in years past. And now they have that on their plate. And so the communication with that from the sideline to the huddle, from, you know, me telling those guys what it is, and then guys in the huddle knowing, okay, now I'm not this position, I'm this position, right? And so I think that's what it is. And, you know, coming into this Thursday night game, it's how can we tailor that to, you know, maybe only these couple personnels, and then with the guys that we want in there, you know, let's just go play football.
You mentioned not seeing Julian Hill and that progression. I think it was another player, Tanner Bluner. Are you maybe not looking for the tight ends enough, and do you feel defenses are maybe disregarding them a little bit?
I wouldn't say I'm not looking for the tight ends in general. Just going through my progression, and for myself, my feed is what I feel is telling me whether I should stick with this or progress and whatnot. But it's not that I'm trying to disregard the tight end or not wanting to throw the tight end.
Josh, what do you think of Josh Allen's skill set?
Dude, he's top tier. You know, if it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. You know, that dude can do literally anything he wants. So definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, you know, with how far and the arm strength that he has, you know, he's supreme when it comes to that. So it's gonna be fun. Get to see him, get to play him again, and we'll see. Thanks.